Hello, welcome to day 2 of module 3. And we're going to finish out this week by talking about the extra credit and really the nuances of the final draft that you'll submit to USF Rights. We click understanding concepts so that you can review brevity and what that means for the 3 different genre types that you may or may not be using for your chosen scenario. And I've gotten questions from students in the past and even this semester, like, what do you mean when you say brevity, or that something needs to be shorter, or that you love deleting? Like, what does that look like for an email or a memo or a letter? And so I've included examples here, and you can always just preview the documents of an email that needs revision and why it needs revision. And then if I were to go through it myself and think about concision, brevity, making it shorter, this is what it would look like. And I give you the reasons for those changes at the bottom. And this is actually a great way to move into the second part of this lecture, which is to reiterate the need for me to see your changes on your draft. So when you go to submit your document, I do not want to see a document that looks like this with your email, your memo, or your 2 emails and your memo, and they just look like this. I don't want to see that. I want to see something like this for your email, for your memo, and for your other memo, or whatever you're going to do. I want to see all, it doesn't have to be this crazy amount of changes, but I need to see them so that I know that you've completed your final draft. So the final draft is not about, I'm going to finish the draft, or, oh no, I only included the email and the memo, but now, because it's my final, I'm going to include the letter. You should have had your 3 types of correspondence, and it could have been, email, and letter. You should have had your 3 types of correspondence already drafted for the rough draft. And now you are looking at things like concision, how can you make things shorter, or what types of proofreading do you need to do, or the tone wasn't quite right for a particular document and you need to switch that up. That's what I'm looking for the final. Not only that, but I'm looking to see that your email, if you're drafting that, actually looks like an email, and the letter looks like a letter, memo looks like a memo. What I mean is, I'm going to show you. It's the easiest way to do it. Where is that? Professional writing, sample papers, final draft. Look at that one. Oh, this didn't do it. So I'm going to have to show you. So what I mean by that is an email that looks like an email. Here's an easy way to do it, and you don't have to do it this way, but you could. What you could do is draft your email to whoever fake person. You do need a subject line that's specific. And then start drafting your email. But you can take what you already have from the rough draft, because you already have it drafted, and you paste it over here, and then you can start revising it as needed, utilizing the color changes to, why doesn't it want to do it? Oh, it's background color. What I did, I don't know. to show me that you changed something, or if you're going to delete something, I don't know, strike through is, oh, they do have strike through on an email. So you can still show me the changes for your email in this way. And then you could control print screen or use the snipping tool to take a picture of what's on the screen. And then you go back to your file for your draft and Control V, crop it. And you're showing me not only the final draft changes, but you're also, because this is a final draft, you're finalizing it. You're showing me, you're thinking about the design elements as well. And you don't have to do this. You can just give me the two, subject line and dear, blah, 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 with all the other sorts of formatting conventions for an email, right? You don't have to do this, but that's an option to use an email platform, take a picture of it and do it that way. For a memo, I want to see that it looks like a memo, and you can do that by creating a memo using maybe Canva, I think has memo design options. And it might ask you to log in like that. Hey, welcome, Gina. Thank you. Oh, okay, wow. Type in what document template you'd like to see. And some of these are just like really pretty and not practical for this type of assignment. But some of them you can see are like, it looks like a more professional type of memo, and go ahead and use that kind of template. Something like that with flowers on it or whatever, and it doesn't have much in the way of formatting options, I would not use it. In particular, one like this that has the things that are listed in the book and listed in, I don't know if it's in the assignment guidelines, but you do need these sorts of details for a memo. And you can use this template and you can save the picture, or you can fill it out and control print screen the same way you might do the email. Control V, crop it. And do it that way. Or you could always right click these sorts of things and save them as pictures, I guess, and then just go to insert on Microsoft Word and insert them as pictures. I just use the control print screen or the snipping tool because that's what I prefer. You can find a different way to do this. Or you can utilize the memo template on, oh, that's just going to show more templates. There's memo templates on here, but then if you use this, I wouldn't use it for your whole document because it's gonna put that formatting, like the blue stuff template on every page that you do. And, or, okay, in theory it would, I don't know, maybe it doesn't. So if it doesn't do that and then you can just do an email page or a letter page, that works too. I've had some students use the memo template on Microsoft Word, and then it continued this look on every page and kind of got in the way of their emails or letters if they chose to do that. So you can set up a memo with Microsoft Word or with Canva. You can take a picture of either or just save it and go on and make sure your 3 documents are in one combinable PDF file and you're not uploading multiple files. This might also have a letter format. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if it has a workable, like professional business letter template. It might. But I also, let's go back to understanding concepts, because I also included these because I wanted you to see the correct format for different document types. So when we go to the revisions, we can see how I would prefer and a memo can look different if you look at the memo chapter in USF rights. But in general, a memo could look like this with the to, from, date, subject, and you're breaking it up by using bolded headers. And then what I would prefer your letter looks like is what we would see here in the revision. And if you can find a template that does this for you, then go for it. But I'm showing you this because I want you to enact the manual changes. And I also want you to think about design, and that includes prettying up the way it looks, but not necessarily the content or the text, because again, I want to see those changes. And some of you are probably wondering, why can't I just use track changes if you are using Microsoft Word? It's because when you upload something to USF Rights, it converts it to a PDF, and I can then not see any track changes on your document. It just shows me that. And even if you did go to review and you went to tracking and you did track changes and you deleted or you added stuff and then you save it and you upload it to USF Rights, I can't see any of it and you've just wasted your own time. I have had some students that they're like, I like tracking, I like track changes, and I'm gonna still, I'm gonna use it still, and it's gonna work for me. And what they do is they then do control print screen of their changes using track changes, and they take a picture and they put it on a blank document, or I'm pretty sure that's what they do, or they save it as a, and then they, in that way, they save it as a PDF. I'm making this sound a lot more complicated, but I've had students show me this and it looked easier than I'm explaining it. So in that way, when they go to save it as a PDF, the track changes they made are entirely visible, and they didn't have to worry about, oh, I need to do the manual changes with the color and the strike through. Either option is viable. To show me your changes that you are submitting, not to Canvas by January 31st at 11:59 p.m., but you're submitting it to USF Rights when you go out to the projects. Let's go to the right class though. And you go to the final document series upload. It's due January 31st, 11:59 p.m. You're uploading it there, and I'm showing you what your individual grade is on Canvas. But you're uploading it here, and I'm going to give you that score-based individualized feedback here. Excuse me, oh my gosh. And you're gonna, I shouldn't eat while I do these videos. And you're gonna make the change, and you're gonna see your grade there. If there was a lot that we covered. So if there was a muddy point in this module, you're super confused, you can WhatsApp me or email me for more clarification.